In this video, I'm going to show you 3 ways that you can find new worship songs for your worship ministry, or songs about particular themes that people always ask about. Do you have a song on the woman at the well? Well, yes, let's find one together by using some of these resources I'm about to show you. Coming up. Hey, Spencer here from Leading Worship Well. This is the place where we talk about how to lead yourself well, lead your church well, and lead worship well. So if you're interested in that, click subscribe down below and let's get into it, because today we're talking about finding worship songs. And this is something that I think we struggle with, is to find good worship songs. And maybe you listen to Christian radio and you hear a lot of these songs and you're like, that's a good song, but it's not necessarily for my church. So how do I find new worship songs? You know, you can just wade your way through the vast catalog of new worship songs that come out every single week, or you can find some resources that help weed that huge list from the entire CCLI database. You can weed that down to a smaller list of songs that will probably work in your church. So I'm going to share with you 3 of those resources today. You're going to learn a ton about how to find new worship songs, and to find songs, I think more importantly, that fit within a certain theme that you're going for. Like if you want songs for Easter, I'm going to show you how to find songs for that. If your pastor's preaching on a specific topic and they actually get you what they're preaching on more than just the night before, and you're like, I want to plan for that topic, I'm going to show you a couple websites where you can find out how to find songs that fit around that theme. Before we get into that though, I want to know, how do you find new worship songs? What's your process look like? Is it like you listen to the radio and you hear a song that you like and you implement it in your church? Is it like I saw somebody talking about this song on the internet and it sounded good, so I checked it out? Like, what is your normal process for finding new worship songs? Let us know down in the comments below, and I'll talk to you in a second. Thanks so much for leaving your comments down below. Let's get into how to find new worship songs for your worship ministry. The first way to find new worship songs for your worship ministry is to watch other churches' live streams. That's one of my favorite things to do. I love that because of COVID, I love that thousands of more churches, if not hundreds of thousands more, tens of thousands of more churches have started live streaming, and now we get a look into what other churches are doing. And it's not like a competition thing. We aren't stealing from them, but I find it super powerful. One of the things that I do after I get home from church on Sunday is get on Facebook and find my friends' churches. I have a lot of worship leader friends, so their live streams just pop up in my newsfeed, and I'll sit there and watch them lead. And it's been really encouraging for me. And I've noticed a lot of times, man, this church just introduced this song, and my friend leading at this church just introduced the same song, and then I have a third friend who's leading worship somewhere else, and they introduced that song too. And then it's maybe that's a good song to start implementing into my church, and it gives you an idea. Or you can just see the set list that your worship leading friends, or maybe just other churches in your area, are doing, and you can see in real time what songs are connecting with people in your community, and then you can consider implementing it for your church. So I encourage you to do that. If you're looking for what is hot in the worship music industry right now, in the church world, then check out some live streams. And not only will you learn what songs are working, but it's really good to just be a student of worship leading and see how other worship leaders at other churches lead worship, and you can learn so much from just watching their live streams. So if you just want to improve your worship leading in general, check out those other live streams. Let's move into tip number 2, and for that we need to head over to the computer. All right, now that we're at the computer, I just wanted to quickly show you a few websites that I think are super helpful for finding new worship songs. So let's get into it. And the first are just some Facebook groups, like some I think it's helpful to be part of these worship leading groups. So the two that I'm a part of, I'm sure there's more that if you know any more, leave them in the comments below. These are two that I'm a part of. But the first is Worship Leaders Collective. So if you've just searched for that group on Facebook, you can find it and ask to be invited or ask to join, and they'll let you in. And I just find it helpful. Like, people are asking, first of all, it's just a wealth of worship leading information. People are just posting about anything that you can imagine about worship leading. But, people are posting about songs like all the time in here. Like, if you want to learn about keys for like a song, like, people will give you their opinions on that right here about Waymaker. Or a lot of times people ask, like, I bet if I type in Easter set list, whoops, and I spell it correctly, Easter set list, I bet, yeah. Are you willing to share your set list? So here's a couple people. All right, here's a big one. Like, you can see what songs people are doing for Easter, and you get a bunch of ideas from this. So that's one group that I'm a part of, Worship Leaders Collective. Check that out. And then also Worship Leaders Plus is another great one to be a part of. Same thing, what are some good modern gospel praise team songs? Like, you'll find answers to that in here if that's something that you're looking for. So join those groups. Make sure to use the search bar before you actually make a post. I see people make posts all the time that just ask the same thing over and over again. You don't need to do that. There's a search bar there for you. So those are just two quick ways you can level up your worship leading. Also, then, is the third way, apart from Facebook groups, is to look at some of these worship song websites. And just a few that come to mind is, this is like the top 100 list for CCLI. So this is data driven, based on reporting data from a broad cross section of small to large U.S. churches across all denominations licensed with CCLI. So this is taking, whenever you have your CCLI reporting periods, they're taking all of that data and finding the most popular worship songs. And I find this really interesting because while maybe, our churches aren't all the same, but it is helpful to see what's working in other churches. And so, you realize, okay, Waymaker is doing really well right now. That's number one as of December 1st. Build My Life is up there, Living Hope. You can get the idea. This is a really interesting list to just work your way through and see like what songs are working, and that'll give you new ideas. So if you're just looking for new songs, I recommend starting with the CCLI Top 100 and getting ideas from that, and then running them through whatever filter you want to run them through to see if they'll work in your church. I think I actually have a video on that. I'll link it up here in the cards as I do how to pick songs for your church. So that's a great list to look at. On top of that, if you want like more up-to-date information, I find that praise charts is a great way to find what's working in the church world right now, because this is where a lot of worship teams go to get their worship charts. And so, you can just look, okay, what are the top worship songs today? Like right now, like this is today, this is what people are looking for. So Graves into Garden, probably for Easter, is a good one. King of Kings, Easter song again. He Lives, another Easter song. So if you're looking for Easter songs, that's a great way to find some. Also, you've got not just what's happening today, but what's happening this month. I guess I got to refresh my page here. What's happening this month? What are the top 100 songs? Now, this is praise charts list of 100 worship songs that have been the most popular on their website, so you can compare that with what was popular from CCLI. And then on top of that, not only do you get to see the popular songs, but if you're looking for themes, there's this button over here, themes, that I don't think, judging from the amount of people who post in those Facebook worship leader groups asking about certain themes for songs, like I don't think they know that it's here. But you've got songs for Easter Sunday, so let's open that and see what we've got. There you go. Pick from this list of 50 plus songs and you'll have an Easter set list. Or, let's say you're doing, let's say you're talking about creation. You click on creation and here's some songs about creation. You can do this for anything. I mean, look at all of the different themes that they have here. Like, that's a lot of themes to pick from. So if you're like, man, I need a song about this, go to Praise Charts, click on themes, and you'll find pretty much what you're looking for. And then finally, the last website that I recommend is Worship Together. This is just a website that I like. It's like Passion and Hillsong and Bethel, I guess, is there as well. So lots of just, they always put like new song stories and acoustic versions of songs on here, which I really like, especially whenever you lead in a small church. It's helpful to have an acoustic version to sort of replicate. So you can check that out. And so they're always posting new songs on here. So if you want like a new worship song, you can find that on here. But they also have, let's see if I can find it here. Let's go. I know they have a theme. Oh yeah, here it is. Song Finder. Boom, right in front of my face. So you can, in this, you can search by key. If you're looking for a specific key for a worship song, you can find that. You can do themes. Once again, they have a little less themes because there are less songs on this platform, but still helpful. You can do tempo. Do you want a fast song? Let's get a fast song. What do we got? God So Loved by We the Kingdom. I should probably make an advanced guitar tutorial for that. I might do that at some point. And there you go. You've got a bunch of fast songs. So, yeah, those are the websites that you can use, and you will never be in want of finding a worship song again. So there they were. Those were the resources that you can use to find songs, and you can just know now. You can get plugged into those worship leading groups and get suggestions from that. You can watch other churches' live streams, and then of course you can watch, or you can take a look at those websites that I just showed you. I'll link all of that down in the description below if you want links to those things. Also down in the description below, I've got a link to a free audio training called 5 Tips to Instantly Improve Your Worship Leading. In that audio training, guess what? I share with you 5 tips to instantly improve your worship leading. So if you're interested in that, check it out in the description below and level up your worship leading. Other than that, thanks so much for watching this video, joining me today, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep leading worship well.